Pain is not punishment, it's preparation. It's one of the hardest truths to accept, especially when life seems unbearably cruel. When you're in the middle of heartache, failure, betrayal, or loss, it feels like you're being targeted, singled out, or punished. You question everything. Why me? What did I do to deserve this? Why is life so unfair? But the truth is, pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to awaken you. It's here to prepare you for something greater than you ever imagined. Pain is the universe's way of shifting you, shaping you, and forcing growth when you're too comfortable to move on your own. We live in a world that glorifies ease and comfort, and yet nothing meaningful is ever born from staying safe. Comfort zones are beautiful places, but nothing grows there. Real change, real strength, real greatness is forged in fire, and pain is that fire. It burns away the unnecessary, the shallow, the ego, the illusions, and reveals the core of who you really are. You don't discover your strength when everything is going well. You discover it when everything falls apart. You discover it when you're on the floor, broken, yet you find the courage to get up again and again. The most powerful people you'll ever meet are the ones who've been through the most pain. They weren't born strong. They were forged through hardship. Their confidence came from surviving storms that should have destroyed them. Their wisdom was carved into their souls by failure, heartbreak, and nights spent crying in silence. Pain didn't break them. It built them. They allowed the struggle to transform them rather than define them. They didn't run from their pain. They learned from it. They didn't ask why life was so cruel. They asked what it was trying to teach them. When life hurts you, it's easy to become bitter. It's easy to close yourself off and say, never again. But that's not strength. That's fear disguised as protection. True strength is choosing to stay open after you've been hurt. True strength is choosing to trust again, to try again, to believe again, even after everything has gone wrong. And you only learn that kind of strength through pain. Pain teaches you how to love yourself when no one else does. Pain teaches you to rely on yourself when the world walks away. Pain teaches you to stand alone with dignity, to hold your head high when all you want to do is hide. There's a reason your greatest growth doesn't happen when you're happy. It happens when you're uncomfortable, when you're stretched, when you're forced to look at yourself honestly and confront everything you've been avoiding. Pain opens your eyes. It reveals what really matters. It forces you to change, not because you want to, but because you have no other choice. And in that process of being broken and rebuilt, you discover parts of yourself you didn't even know existed. You realize you're more resilient than you thought. You realize you can survive what you once thought was unbearable. Pain is preparation for the next level of your life. Every trial you face strengthens a part of you that will be essential for your future. Life knows what you need before you do. Sometimes it has to tear down everything you've built so it can give you something better. And though it hurts now, though it doesn't make sense in the moment, you will look back and realize the pain was necessary, not just to teach you, but to prepare you for love that's deeper, dreams that are bigger, and strength that's unshakable. Okay, so don't curse the pain. Don't resist the lessons. Don't shut down in the struggle. What feels like punishment is actually your preparation. What feels like the end might be the very thing that leads you to your beginning. Pain is not here to break you. It's here to awaken the warrior inside of you who was always meant to rise. Being broken doesn't mean being defeated. Struggling, falling apart, or feeling like you're at rock bottom doesn't define your worth or your destiny. Too often we equate emotional collapse with weakness. But the truth is, breaking is a part of becoming. The most powerful, resilient, and inspiring people didn't get there because life was easy for them. They got there because they were broken, and they refused to stay that way. They knew that their pain wasn't a sign of failure. It was a sign they were still alive, still fighting, and still capable of more. You might be going through something right now that no one understands. You cry when no one sees, you feel like no one hears you, and you wonder if it's even worth trying anymore. But just because you're down doesn't mean you're done. Just because you're hurting doesn't mean you're hopeless. Being broken is the beginning of transformation. When you're broken, that's when you get to choose who you become. That's when the false identities fade and your true self begins to surface. Breaking down isn't a weakness. It's the moment when your soul demands something more, something deeper, something real. Even in your most fragile state, there is strength in you. There's strength in surviving the day when everything inside you wanted to give up. There's strength in simply breathing through the pain. Don't overlook the quiet battles you've won just by holding on. The world may not see them, but they matter. You matter. And your scars are not signs of defeat. They are proof that you endured, that you resisted, that you lived through what tried to destroy you. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to be unshakable to be strong. What matters is that even in pieces, you are still pushing forward. Even if you fall apart, you can still rise. You can rise slowly, painfully, unsure, but rise nonetheless. Because broken is not the same as beaten. Broken is the moment before the rise, the fall that sets up the comeback. It is in your brokenness that you realize how much fight still lives within you. Embrace the struggle. Don't run from it. Don't bury it. Don't pretend it isn't there. Struggle is not something to be ashamed of. It's something to learn from. Every hardship is a lesson. Every challenge is a chance to grow. The hardest moments in life are not barriers. They're invitations. Invitations to evolve, to stretch, to reach beyond who you were and discover who you're meant to be. Life isn't supposed to be easy. You weren't meant to coast through it without resistance. The weight you carry now is shaping your strength for what's coming next. The battles you face today are training you for victories you can't yet see. So many people want success without the struggle, healing without the pain, growth without the discomfort. But it doesn't work that way. The struggle is where your character is forged. It's in the sleepless nights, the silent tears, and the moments when no one's clapping that you become the version of yourself capable of greatness. Stop looking at struggle like it's a curse. It's not here to hurt you. It's here to teach you. When you embrace the struggle, you stop resisting your evolution. You start to realize that every setback, every failure, and every heartbreak was necessary. Necessary to push you, to mature you, to prepare you. The truth is, your future self is built on the strength you're forming right now through the struggle. The dreams you want, the life you desire, the person you are becoming, all require you to walk through this fire. It's not meant to destroy you, it's meant to refine you. Struggle will introduce you to the power you forgot you had. It will strip away your fear, your hesitation, and your doubt if you let it. Don't fight the fire. Let it burn away the excuses. Let it melt the comfort zone. Let it ignite the part of you that's been waiting to break free. Because what's on the other side of the struggle isn't just survival. It's strength. It's purpose. It's the life you were meant to live. You're being prepared for a stronger version of yourself. The pain, the setbacks, the silent battles, none of it is meaningless. Life has a way of challenging you exactly where you're weakest, so you can become unshakable. It's not trying to destroy you, it's trying to evolve you. Every hardship you endure is a lesson wrapped in discomfort. It's a test of patience, a sharpening of willpower, a push beyond the boundaries you thought defined you. What you're going through isn't about the moment you're in, it's about the person you're becoming through it. Sometimes the greatest shifts in life come wrapped in the disguise of devastation. The breakdowns that leave you wondering if you'll ever be the same again are often the very events that trigger your transformation. You weren't meant to stay the same forever. That pain is sculpting you, training you to be stronger, wiser, more resilient. You're being forced to let go of the version of yourself that was content with less, the version that accepted fear, lived small, stayed quiet, and settled for comfort. You're not breaking, you're evolving. It's painful, yes, but growth always is. You're being stripped of your limits so you can discover your true capacity. You are not fragile, you are not weak, you are simply becoming. Every tear you've cried, every time you've kept moving forward with a shattered heart, that was preparation. The version of you that's coming next will carry the scars like armor. You'll no longer be driven by fear, but by purpose. And when that stronger version of you emerges, you'll look back at everything that nearly broke you and realize it built you. Your emotions are valid, but not your identity. It's okay to feel pain. It's okay to feel angry, lost, confused, or exhausted. You're human. You're not made of stone. What's not okay is allowing those emotions to define who you are. Feelings are powerful, but they are also temporary. They're indicators, not definitions. You may feel like a failure, but that doesn't make you one. You may feel broken, but that doesn't mean you're not whole. You may feel unworthy, but your worth is not up for debate. The world often teaches us to suppress emotions, to smile through suffering, to pretend everything is fine. But true power comes not from hiding your pain, but from confronting it. Let yourself feel without shame your sadness, your frustration, your grief. They all have something to tell you. Ignoring them only buries the truth deeper. But when you face them, when you sit with them, you start to take your power back. You begin to understand that you are not what happened to you. You are not the mistakes you made. You are not the voice in your head that says you're not enough. You are the one who is still standing, still breathing, still trying. That's who you are. The emotions may cloud your view, but they don't erase your essence. Don't let a bad moment make you believe you have a bad life. Don't let a bad day convince you that you have no future. Your feelings are real, but they're not facts. And in learning to separate your identity from your emotion, you gain the clarity to move forward even in the midst of the storm. Every comeback starts with one step, one choice, one breath. You don't have to fix everything overnight. You don't have to figure it all out today. Progress isn't always loud. Sometimes it's quiet and steady. Sometimes it's choosing to get out of bed. Sometimes it's choosing not to give up on yourself even when everything in you is tired. One small step toward healing, toward growth, toward belief in yourself can begin to change everything. It doesn't matter how many times you've fallen. What matters is your willingness to rise. Every great story begins with a decision to try one more time. The hardest part is always that first step, the one that feels uncertain, unsteady, and impossible. But that step is everything. That one movement forward sets a new course. And the more steps you take, the more your confidence grows. Not because life suddenly gets easier, but because you start to realize that you're stronger than you ever knew. You don't need the perfect plan. You don't need to wait for permission or perfect timing. You need courage. Courage to take that first step. Courage to believe there's still hope. Courage to keep going even if no one else sees your effort. Every small act of courage adds up. And one day, you'll look back and realize that single step you took in your lowest moment became the turning point in your life. You are not done. You are not defeated. You are not forgotten. Even if the world overlooks you, even if life seems to be piling weight upon weight on your shoulders, your story isn't finished. The pain you're facing, the doubt you carry, the loneliness you feel, none of it is a sign that you're losing. It's a sign that you're still here, still pushing forward when everything around you tells you to stop. That strength, that stubborn refusal to give up is what sets you apart. You may be exhausted, you may be uncertain, but if you're still breathing, there's still more in you. And that alone is proof that you're not finished yet. Sometimes we mistake being tired for being defeated. We look at the broken pieces of our lives and assume there's nothing left to build from. But the truth is, the people who make it through the storm aren't the ones who had the easiest path. They're the ones who kept walking when it hurt the most. They kept moving forward even when no one clapped for them, even when no one believed in them, even when they didn't believe in themselves. They realized that defeat is a mindset, not a moment. And they chose to rise again and again because they understood one thing: life's hardest battles often come before its biggest blessings. You are still here for a reason. Life doesn't leave the unready untested. If you've been through pain, if you've felt abandoned or broken, it's because you were being called into something deeper, something stronger. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are a fighter in training. The things you've survived, the heartbreaks, the failures, the betrayals, they didn't happen to stop you. They happened to shape you. Every scar you carry is evidence that you've lived through what many couldn't. And that makes you rare. That makes you powerful. The fact that you're still standing in the middle of the storm means you have more strength in you than you realize. Sometimes life strips you down, not to punish you, but to prepare you. When it feels like everything is falling apart, it may actually be falling into place. But in the moment, it's hard to see that. All you feel is the loss, the confusion, the emptiness. But just because you can't see the purpose now doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Some chapters are meant to be dark so that the light ahead will shine brighter. The silence, the loneliness, the struggle, they're not indicators of your value. They're part of the refining process. You're not being erased, you're being rewritten. You are not done. Let those words sink in. Not even close. You've still got breath in your lungs, which means you still have power in your spirit. Life hasn't forgotten you. Your destiny hasn't passed you by. It's still unfolding, even in the shadows, even in the waiting, even in the heartbreak. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it's not happening. So keep waking up, keep showing up, keep pushing forward. Don't let a temporary storm make you forget how powerful your light is. Life might have knocked you down, but it didn't knock you out. There's a fighter in you, a fire, a force the world hasn't seen the full power of yet. And that fire isn't put out by one failure, one heartbreak, one breakdown. It keeps burning quietly beneath the surface. And that fire will reignite your strength when you're ready. All it takes is one decision, one choice to believe that you're not done, to believe that there is more for you and you are not going to stop until you find it. You are not forgotten. Even if people have left you, even if the world has ignored your pain, even if no one has said, I see you in a long time, you are not forgotten. Your struggle matters. Your fight matters. And most importantly, you matter. Don't ever believe that your story is invisible. Don't ever accept that your presence doesn't make a difference. It does. You might not see it now, but someone, somewhere, will one day be inspired by the strength you're showing just by surviving. You're still here, you're still breathing, and that means your greatest chapter has yet to be written. Turn your breakdown into a breakthrough. When life brings you to your knees, when it feels like everything is falling apart and nothing makes sense, it can seem like the end of the road. You look around at the wreckage of your dreams, the silence of people who once stood beside you, and the overwhelming weight pressing down on your chest. In those moments, it's easy to believe that you're broken beyond repair. But what if that moment wasn't the end? What if that was the beginning? Because breakdowns, as painful and chaotic as they are, often signal that something within you is ready to change, ready to grow, ready to evolve. A breakdown isn't just a collapse, it's a call. It's your soul shouting that you can't keep living the same way anymore. It's the resistance you feel when your spirit knows it's time to shed the old skin, the old patterns, the old fears that no longer serve you. Everything might feel like it's crashing, but the truth is, it's cracking open, and through those cracks, something new is trying to emerge. Something stronger, something wiser, something more aligned with who you were always meant to be. You are not being destroyed, you are being rebuilt. The greatest shifts in your life won't come when things are comfortable. They'll come when life shakes you so hard that you have no choice but to change. The breakdown forces you to confront the things you've been avoiding. It brings your deepest fears, wounds, and insecurities to the surface. It exposes what's been holding you back. And that exposure is uncomfortable. It hurts. But only by seeing what's broken can you begin to heal it. Only by facing the truth can you begin to rewrite it. The breakdown brings clarity. Suddenly, what used to matter doesn't. The people who left, the doors that closed, the opportunities you lost, none of it feels as important as it once did. And in that emptiness, you begin to hear your own voice again. Not the voice that's been shaped by fear or expectation, but the one that belongs to you. The voice that's been silenced for too long. The breakdown strips away everything external so you can reconnect with your internal truth. That is where your breakthrough begins. Not in the noise, but in the stillness that follows the storm. You begin to realize that life didn't end, it shifted, and so must you. The pain, the grief, the confusion, they were not here to paralyze you, they were here to purify you, to burn away the illusions, to bring you back to yourself. Every tear you cried was watering the ground for something greater to grow. Every lonely night was preparing space for peace to enter. Every ending was creating room for a new beginning you couldn't yet see. What broke you down is the very thing that will build you up if you let it. Your breakthrough is not some dramatic overnight miracle. It's the small choices you make after the storm. It's choosing to try again when you're scared. It's deciding to believe in yourself even when you don't feel ready. It's trusting that the pain had a purpose even if you can't see it yet. The breakthrough is quiet. It happens in moments that look ordinary but are fueled by a new sense of strength, self-worth, and purpose. It's when you speak up instead of staying silent. It's when you walk away from what drains you. It's when you begin to believe that your future can still be beautiful despite the past. No one gets through life without a breakdown, but not everyone allows their breakdown to become a breakthrough. Some people stay stuck, trapped in bitterness, fear, or regret. But you have a choice. You can rise. You can turn the pain into purpose, the collapse into courage, the chaos into clarity. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become through it. Let the breakdown guide you, not define you. Let it push you toward the version of yourself that's been buried under years of doubt, fear, and survival. Let it be the fire that forges your strength, not just the strength to survive, but the strength to rise with vision, with intention, with power. Because the moment you decide to rise from your breakdown is the moment you begin your breakthrough. And from that moment forward, nothing will ever be the same. Stop looking at struggle like it's a curse. Struggle is not something to run from, not something to hide or be ashamed of. It's a sign you are in motion, a sign you are pushing against resistance to become more. Every person who has achieved anything meaningful in life has struggled. Every leader, every visionary, every survivor. You name them, and behind their success lies pain. Struggle is a necessary part of transformation. It's not the enemy. It's the pathway. The more you resist it, the more you delay your growth. But when you learn to embrace it, to face it head on, you begin to see its hidden purpose. You begin to see that it was never working against you. It was building something within you. Struggle introduces you to yourself. It strips away everything superficial and forces you to see who you really are without the masks, the distractions, the noise. It teaches you patience, humility, and endurance. It shows you your limits and then dares you to break through them. It's in struggle that you learn what truly matters, what you really want, and what you're willing to fight for. And that clarity is priceless. You won't find it when life is easy, when everything's going your way. You find it when you're pushed to your edge, when life demands that you level up or get left behind. What most people don't realize is that struggle is part of the preparation. You're not being punished, you're being trained. That adversity you're facing, it's not random, it's not meaningless, it's custom made to develop exactly what you need for the next chapter of your life. Maybe it's resilience, maybe it's courage, maybe it's the ability to let go. Whatever it is, the struggle is shaping it in you. And the longer you resist it, the longer you delay the breakthrough. But when you finally stop fighting it, when you lean into the discomfort, that's when everything begins to change. The struggle forces you to grow in ways you didn't think possible. It makes you stronger, yes, but it also makes you softer, more compassionate, more understanding, more real. You begin to understand other people's pain because you've tasted your own. You begin to offer grace because you know how it feels to need it. And that depth of character, that emotional intelligence, is what will carry you forward long after the struggle is gone. You become someone others can lean on. You become a light for someone else walking through the same darkness. Your struggle becomes your story, and your story becomes someone else's survival guide. Every time you survive a difficult moment, you prove to yourself that you can. And those moments add up. They become the foundation of your self-belief. Not the kind that's loud or boastful, but the quiet, unshakable kind that whispers, "I've been through worse, and I'm still standing." That kind of belief can't be faked. It can't be taught. It's earned. In the dark, in the silence, in the struggle. And once you have it, it becomes your anchor. Life will still hit you, but you'll bend, not break. You'll fall, but you'll rise faster. You'll hurt, but you'll know healing is possible because you've been there before. Struggle also reveals who's really with you. When everything is good, everyone claps. But when life gets hard, when you're broken and tired and not at your best, that's when you see who truly cares. And it's in those moments, in the raw, unfiltered reality of struggle, that your circle gets smaller but stronger. The people who stay, who hold space for your pain, who remind you of your worth when you forget it, those are the ones who matter. And you wouldn't have found them without the struggle. It hurts, yes, but it also refines. It filters out the noise and leaves you with the real. You are not alone in your struggle. And you are not weak because of it. You are human. You are learning. You are becoming. Struggle is not a dead end. It's a doorway. And once you stop seeing it as a curse, once you start honoring it as a teacher, you unlock the true power it holds, the power to transform, the power to elevate, the power to lead you not just to who you were, but to who you were meant to be. You are still here for a reason. That reason may not be clear yet. You might still be searching for it, questioning it, doubting whether it even exists. But the fact that you're still breathing, still fighting, still standing after everything life has thrown your way is not an accident. There's something inside you that hasn't given up, even when your heart was heavy, even when your mind was tired, even when your soul felt worn down, something in you kept going. That's not random. That's not weakness. That's strength. Most people can't even comprehend. The world will try to convince you that your worth is measured by how much you've achieved, how many people praise you, how much you've accomplished. But your worth isn't defined by titles, money, or applause. It's found in your perseverance, in your quiet determination, in your ability to rise after being knocked down time and time again. Your reason for being here may not be found in some grand moment. It may be found in the small acts of courage that happen every single day. Getting out of bed when it's hard, choosing to hope even when you're scared, continuing to love when your heart has been broken. Some people walk through life never really knowing adversity, and they miss out on the depth and wisdom that only pain can bring. You've walked through storms, you've endured seasons that could have destroyed you. You've cried silent tears no one else saw, fought private battles no one else knew about. That experience gave you something unshakable, an understanding of life that can't be taught, only earned. You've earned your scars, you've earned your perspective, and that makes your presence in this world necessary. You carry something others don't: compassion, empathy, resilience. That is your reason. Being here means you're not done yet. Whatever your age, whatever your past, whatever you've lost, you still have something left to give. You still have lessons to learn, people to impact, growth to experience. Your pain wasn't pointless. It was part of the preparation. The fact that you've survived so much means you're qualified to carry strength, wisdom, and truth into places where others feel lost. You might not realize it, but your very presence can be someone else's light. Sometimes just the way you keep going is enough to inspire someone else to keep breathing. Maybe you haven't found your dream yet. Maybe you're still searching for purpose or healing or peace. That's okay. It's not too late. It never is. Life doesn't operate on someone else's timeline. You're on your own path, your own journey. And being here means the next chapter is still waiting to be written. You can still shift. You can still grow. You can still love again, believe again, trust again. The fact that you're still alive means the opportunity for change is always on the table. It means that the best version of yourself is still becoming. You don't have to know exactly where you're headed. You just need to trust that there is still more for you ahead. Sometimes the very act of surviving is enough to carry you toward the next door, the next lesson, the next level. You may not have all the answers, but you have breath in your lungs. And that breath is proof of possibility. It's proof that your existence is not random. It's proof that you've been through the fire and still have something left to burn, something bright, something real. So if you're here, don't dismiss that. Don't overlook your own endurance. You're not just existing. You're overcoming. You're showing up. You're holding on. And that means something. That means everything. You're not forgotten. You're not invisible. You are here for a reason. And even if the world doesn't fully see you yet, even if no one claps for your victories or understands your struggle, that doesn't make your journey any less valuable. You're still in the story. You still have power. You still have time. And what's ahead might just be the part of your life where everything changes. This is not your breakdown. This is your breakthrough. It might feel like everything is collapsing. You may be surrounded by silence, pain, confusion, and a sense that life is unraveling at the seams. But what you're experiencing right now isn't the end. It's the turning point. The chaos, the hurt, the tears you hide from the world, this is the moment where everything begins to shift. You are standing on the edge of transformation, and what feels like destruction is actually the foundation for something far more powerful than you've ever known. Life has a way of disguising blessings as burdens. You think you're breaking, but what's actually happening is that everything that no longer serves you is falling away. The lies you've believed about yourself, the fears that have held you hostage, the patterns that have kept you stuck. This is the moment when they begin to lose their grip. It hurts, yes, but not because you're weak. It hurts because you're shedding layers of who you thought you had to be in order to make room for who you really are. That pain is proof that you're evolving. You were never meant to stay the same. Growth is not supposed to be easy. It doesn't come with comfort. It comes with resistance, with pressure, with uncertainty. Think of every mountain you've had to climb just to get here. The sleepless nights, the silent battles, the moments when you doubted your worth. Those weren't signs of failure. They were signs of becoming. They were the universe telling you that your old life can't hold the magnitude of who you're about to become. The breakdown was necessary because the breakthrough can only come after something cracks. The beauty of a breakthrough is that it rarely announces itself. It comes softly, hidden in the quiet decisions you make in the dark. Choosing not to give up. Choosing to believe there's more. Choosing to get back up one more time than you fall. Every single time you choose to rise in the midst of pain, you take another step toward your breakthrough. It doesn't always look like progress. Sometimes it looks like survival. Sometimes it looks like tears. Sometimes it looks like starting over. But each one of those moments is building momentum. Your breakthrough is not just about healing. It's about awakening. It's about stepping into the power that's always been inside you, but buried beneath fear, doubt, or shame. And when it comes, it doesn't only lift you, it transforms you. It changes how you see yourself. It changes what you believe you're capable of. It teaches you to honor your journey, to trust your timing, and to stop shrinking to fit into spaces you've outgrown. Your breakthrough will redefine your life, not because everything around you suddenly changes, but because you change. Your perspective, your confidence, your sense of purpose, everything begins to align. There is a version of you on the other side of this pain who is stronger, bolder, and more alive than you've ever known. And that version of you is waiting, not at the end of the path, but on the other side of the very thing you're facing now. You don't have to be fearless to meet them. You just have to be willing to face what hurts, willing to release what's no longer meant for you, willing to let the fire refine you, not destroy you. Because that's where the breakthrough lives, in the decision to turn pain into power. So when life feels like it's closing in, when you're tired of being strong, when nothing makes sense, pause, breathe. Remind yourself, this is not your breakdown. This is your breakthrough in disguise. And though you may not feel it now, you are rising. You are being rebuilt. You are being positioned for something greater than the pain you've endured. Every ending holds the seed of a new beginning. Every fall carries the potential of flight. The struggle you're facing is not your defeat, it's your awakening. And your breakthrough is closer than you think.